All right, hey, welcome everyone. Well, Yaroslav Askarov makes his debut for the San Jose Sharks. He, of course, was acquired in a trade with the Nashville Predators over the summer, and only has played 3 NHL games so far in his career. The 22-year-old goaltender is one of the top goalie prospects out there, and I've been highly anticipating this moment for him in his career. Actually, the broadcast right now for the Sharks is kind of talking about the impact of certain franchise caliber players early in their careers, not just with the Sharks, but with other teams in the Bay Area. So it's going to be really fun watching Askarov, and we'll see if the Sharks can rebound after a defeat last night at the hand of the Dallas Stars in what was really a 3-2 close game. A couple of empty netters there for Dallas. Meanwhile, the Blues, kind of like the Sharks, toward the bottom of the standings, not as expectedly necessarily, as the Blues were still seen as a team that could compete for a playoff spot. I believe they've dropped their last 2 games. So the Blues coming in with a record of 8-11-1. The Sharks at 6-11-4. So welcome everybody. I hope that you can hang out with Cortana and me. We'll cut to her in just a second. We got Ehog. That's right. The first chat message here. Dean, what's up, man? Hey Dan, how you doing, buddy? And Micro, how you doing? You're around Nashville, aren't you? Boy, that team is just a complete wreck. Well, anyway, thanks for Askarov, we could say. Jake, what's going on? All right, we got Cortana hanging out, and today I haven't done this in quite some time, but Cortana is rocking her teal as she has anticipated Askarov as well, and Cortana will be getting all the goal treats every time there's a goal and every time there's a super chat. We'll definitely toss a treat over to Cortana. I've got some organic apple and some blueberries here as well. And let's have ourselves a good night, everybody. Dennis, what's up? Hello. Ethan, good evening to you. And I don't know. I hope I'm not getting sick. I'm like taking some precautions to make sure I don't get ill. But this is a great cure for that sort of thing. Oh, it's the Red Wings coaster or koozie that Dan gave me. Ah, there we go. Look at that, foaming up, delicious. Roast. Or I should say Vostrovie. Yeah. In appreciation for hopefully our franchise goaltender from Russia. Hey, what's going on? Chance, how you doing, man? All right. So anyway, puck drop will be in about 10 minutes from now. And we can also keep a tab on the rest of the action in the NHL. It's Thursday night. So of course, am I sick? I'm just making sure that I don't get sick. So taking some precautions. I'm feeling fine. I just a little hoarse. So got to make sure I get a good night's sleep. Ethan with the 2 already. Thank you, Ethan. All right, let's give Cortana. Oh, let's kick things off. Not just 1, but 2 treats for Cortana. We're gonna go. We're gonna go the route of the jerky for this one. All righty. A couple things going on with the Leafs. Ryan Reeves was suspended for 5 games for the hit on Darnell Nurse, and Austin Matthews is recovering in Germany. Also today, we learned that Alex Ovechkin, a lot of things happening in the NHL right now. All sorts of news, all sorts of storylines to follow here. All right. Thanks again, Ethan. But Alex Ovechkin is reportedly out for 4 to 6 weeks in what has been the most significant injury of his career to date. He has a fractured fibula, unfortunately. Celebrating in overtime was beautiful. Yeah. That was a really fun game to watch, really end to end, and it was my birthday. So Celebrini won the game for the Sharks on my birthday, and I was sitting in my comfy couch with Mrs. Twister watching the game, and it was a really good night for me overall. So thank you, Macklin. Not to mention, guys, Macklin Celebrini apparently wins the highest percentage of puck battles among all players. I saw a really good breakdown from Mike Kelly of NHL Network regarding his play away from the puck, his pursuit of puck carriers. He's really making an impact at the other end of the ice, and all around, of course, he's able to generate some offense and help this team. Really, they haven't been able to manufacture much 5-on-5 offense, but off the rush, he's a contributor there. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Had you screaming and running around in your house at 10 p.m.? Yeah. What a wild game. I love that. I hate when Ovechkin's out. Yeah, I know, right? It's awful because, he was scoring at such a torrid pace at this stage in his career. and he had a legitimate chance to break Gretzky's record this year. Luka Doncic is hurt. Luke Hushdosal. By the way, Brock Purdy. I heard that he wasn't practicing today. I don't know how serious that's going to be. Thanks, Victoria. It was on Monday. I want it over to bit. Yeah, yeah. I was hoping that Ovi could do it at the end of this year. That's more, that's more electrifying. I think than waiting until next year when he's I think hit 40 years old and is in the last day of last year of his contract. It is very unfortunate, but I hope that he's able to recover smoothly and get out there only when he's 100%. Thank you, Victoria. Yeah, so we've got Joe Thornton night to look forward to. That's going to be on Saturday at 2:30. That is when the Sharks will begin a ceremony retiring his number, of course. I'm sure there will be some teammates traveling from all over the U.S. and Canada, and who knows, maybe even across the pond to see that. What if he breaks it in the playoffs if they make it? So now, Jake, to clarify, playoff goals actually don't count. So Gretzky scored 894 goals in the regular season. Playoffs, I don't know how many goals he scored. I wonder who the all-time leader in goals in the playoffs is. If anybody wants to look that up, would Gordie Howe actually have a chance at being the record holder? Yours is August 19th. All right. I'm always good at remember. I mean, the 18th of the month. It's a very significant day of the month for like many months. So I might confuse it for August 18th, but I will try to remember. Working the kiddos hope to actually make one of these for a long haul. Yeah, I know. I mean, like 3 hours is a commitment for sure. And when you have a couple of kiddos, I mean, who has 3 free hours? Unless they want to watch hockey with you, and you have 2 wonderful aspiring hockey nuts in that household, besides yourself. Ryan Reeves is expected to be back on December 4th for when the Leafs play the Predators. How many games has he played this year? Just out of curiosity, I'm just wondering if he's been kind of a rotational player. That's kind of been the course of his career. Let's see here. 16 games. Okay, so he's played most of the games. He's only averaging 7 minutes and 51 seconds of time on ice, though. Let's see here. I don't know who's in goal for the Blues. I'll check that out on X here, because I'm curious to see if the Sharks are facing Bennington or if they're facing Hofer. I'm sure that we should. I would think that we'd see some Blues fans. Of course, YouTube is no longer recommending my channel to anybody, so it becomes very difficult to attract audiences on here. Even though I'm doing the same thing I've always done, but anyway, I appreciate all of you being here. Sincerely. Let's see here. Bennington is in tonight for St. Louis. And what? Oh, wait. Are we going to start? Looks like we're going to start this game. Because time with you guys can go by lightning fast. Hey, what's up, Aaron? How you doing, man? Just looking at that jersey concept. What is that anyway? You'll have to let me know. Cheers, yeah. Vostrovie for Yaroslav Askarov, Nabokov 2.0. Let's hope. So now we're underway here, and there he is playing the puck and giving it away. And in front, they score. Oh my God! Oh, that is a rude awakening. Nathan Walker. So what happened there was Askarov was playing the puck. He tried to get it, around the corner of the boards there, and it's easily scooped up by a St. Louis player. Another guy cuts in front of the net, and St. Louis. I mean, it's a point blank opportunity for the Blues right then. Oh my God, that is not what I was expecting for the first goal that he conceded. There you go, good girl. Dang, how you doing, man? Already, yeah. That was 11 seconds in. 11 seconds. So there goes his shutout. Yaroslav Askarov had 11. Started his NHL career with 11 seconds of shutout hockey. Yeah, I know, Roy. Wow. All right. So Askarov rocking a save percentage of 0. Um, hey, what's up? What's up, Jake, man? All right. It's cool. It's cool. Oh, Granlund's back. By the way, Granlund was held out of the rest of last night's game basically in concussion protocol, but now he's a full participant for tonight. But yeah, when you have to, I mean, playing the puck as a goaltender, oh boy, think of there are certain goaltenders out there who are more confident than others. That's for sure. I don't mind him playing the puck in that situation. I don't think that's bad, but all right. Well, we'll see what happens when he actually has to make saves in or in more predictable situations, I guess. His first game, I'm okay if he sucks today. Well, I mean, there he is. He swallows that one in the breadbasket from Braden Shen. Nazareth University, says Aaron. The men's team wears jerseys that you designed. That's kind of ringing a bell. But nice job, man. That's a cool logo too, or at least from what I see, even that's itty bitty little logo on my screen. All right. Did I? Okay, I wanted to make sure I got the score updated here. He's playing only because he's threatening. So the reason why Askarov is playing is because Vitek Vanacek is day to day. I mean, the Sharks, playing a back to back. Besides, in addition to the Dallas game last night, this is the second of the two. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he gets a crack here with the Sharks, and even if it's just for a game or two, he's doing exceptionally well with the Barracuda in the AHL. So, that right there was that's a hiccup, if anything. Ferraro a million miles away from his man, parked right in front of the net. Yeah. Oh, Ponyboy, good to have you here. Ferraro. I mean, the guy plays hard minutes. He plays a difficult role on the team, but yeah. You don't like Vanacek? Vanacek's actually he's been serviceable. Not great, but as a backup, he's been fine. Blackwood's been great though, and I mean, I think he's even played better than his advance. There we go. Askarov got a piece of that one. I do think that Blackwood's kind of outperformed expectations, and I'm curious to see if he'll have any trade value. Although, some people have said they'd like to see Blackwood stick around for the foreseeable future, even if Askarov is the number one going forward. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right, Roy. He's playing very well in the AHL. Yes, indeed. You're going to the Oilers and Wild game. All right. That should be a good contest. Wild, man. They have been just on a war path this year, and Kirill Kaprizov might be the front runner for the Hart Trophy so far. All right, it's the fourth line out there. Ty Dellandrea, kind of one of the players I forgot was on this team. Vitek was stellar in New Jersey, but it didn't last. Blackwood, more dependable, but he's injury prone. Yeah, that's true. A lot of goaltenders are these days. You got to be able to have, somebody, even if they're not like going to be an ace in the AHL, or even if they're not going to be a franchise goaltender, having an experienced goaltender in the AHL who might have gotten a call up here or there in the NHL, that's actually pretty vital these days. All right, top line out for the Sharks, Eklund, and a save by Binnington into the trapper with the first 4 minutes gone by. Rails, hey, how's it going, man? Kings, what's going on? They couldn't get any offense going last night. What else do the Sharks have in the goaltending pool that's good? Apparently, I forget what the guy's name is. A Swiss guy they drafted in the 4th or 5th round last year. Shoot, the name I'm drawing a blank. I mean, I don't have it right here, but it's a little bit on the tip of my tongue. Christian Kirsch, drafted this past year to the Sharks. He was actually their number one goaltending prospect, and not really a deep goaltending prospect or a deep draft class for goaltenders. So Christian Kirsch out of Switzerland is a big get for them. And they got this other Russian guy in the 7th round who was really high on their draft board as well. So that could be some really good value for them. How you doing, Derek, man? Hmm. All right. All right. So Askarov, maybe not the best puck handler, but now he's made a couple saves. He's going to settle in a little bit better. All right. Oh, wait. That one went wide. Celebrini, it's good to have him now healthy on the team, of course. Let's see if the Sharks can get this clear out of the zone. Eklund's blossoming into a pretty fun player to watch. He's playing with more of an edge. Askarov's going to cover that up from behind the net. We'll get a whistle. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? Good evening. I haven't seen any news on that front regarding Askarov. I think he's just stoked to play in the NHL. Got to mute myself. The carbonation here. It'll make me burp. 6'3", 178 pounds is Yaroslav Askarov. So he's lean, but a lot of goaltenders are built that way. Blackwood, kind of an exception. He's pretty big. All right, here's Ferraro from behind the net. He'll touch this over. And Jan Ruta is going to get this clear. And there's a battle here in the neutral zone with Barclay Goodrow. Playing with Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. Oh, actually, Will Smith is scratched tonight. My bad. That's right. All right, here is Eklund. Or Celebrini, excuse me. He'll pull up, he'll shoot, and off the stick of the defender, off the side, or at the side of the net. Couldn't quite get on goal. And St. Louis will streak the other way. Wait. Oh, they have a player with 81. I thought it was 91. I'm like, that's something I would not expect to see. That's Tarasenko's number. And are we going to get a penalty? Yeah, Blues are going to go to the box. So this is going to put the Sharks on the power play. With 13:58 remaining in the period. I think that we're going to get a commercial break now. But when we come back, the Sharks will have the man advantage. All right. How has Will Smith been? I haven't been watching hockey as much as previous seasons. I know it's been kind of underwhelming to see him not getting on the board, but he is getting some chances here and there. I do want to see more. I do see some good plays just off the puck, but all I got to say is I would expect more from him at this point, but I think that the Sharks are handling his development pretty well. I like that they're not expecting him to be like a top line producer every game, and it really seems like he's developing good chemistry with Celebrini, both from what you see on the ice, and I hear some great things about their relationship off the ice as well. But yeah, let me know what you think, man. I'm okay with Askarov. I think that was coming this year eventually. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if I got the context of your comment, but of course, he had wanted out of Nashville after they had extended Pecorine. So the Sharks, that was one sort of void, I think, in their prospect pool. Even though the Sharks really liked what they did, drafting a couple of goaltenders in this past draft, they didn't have that blue chip prospect in that position. So I think that's a fantastic move from Mike Greer. And basically, he just dealt away the assets that they had received in the Tomas Hertl trade. So while at the time, especially, you guys might have known how goddarn salty and frustrated I was that Hertl was dealt to the Golden Knights, ultimately those assets get dealt away for a top goaltending prospect. And I can't be any happier at that move that Greer pulled. I like the way he's playing so far. He's just getting in the NHL, so I'm not expecting him to have a Bedard Celebrini type season. Yeah, I mean, it's clear though that Celebrini is, he's not just a full-time NHL player, but he's He is among the best Sharks out there, apart from Granlund and I'd say William Eklund too. Jack Hughes struggled his first year. Yeah, I know that injury was part of it as well, but obviously he wasn't the threat that he turned out to be at that point. How bad was the Dallas game? I didn't actually watch that game last night. I was busy. Sharks on the power play, by the way. Liljegren quarterbacking this. But the Sharks, I heard they actually played a pretty good game, and they played Dallas really well their first time earlier this season. It was really a 3-2 game, and then I heard that basically the referee kind of interfered with us when we had the net emptied, and then Dallas just scored 2 empty net goals. So really, it was just a 3-2 game in Dallas. Yeah. NFL season has been nuts. You haven't watched as much hockey, and that's the thing too. Yeah, I've been focusing a lot on just tracking my team, the Vikings. Oh, here come the Blues shorthanded, and that shot over the glove of Askarov. Another 55 seconds on the power play. Didn't expect him to sit on the Barracuda all year. Good point, Dank. Yeah. And I mean, of course, he could really get a chance to get some experience under his belt with the Sharks. Oh, wow. The Blues are going to the box for hooking. So 41 seconds of 5-on-3 for San Jose. So this faceoff will be very important. But yeah, really, the Sharks, yeah, we'll see if they are entertaining a trade for trading one of their goaltenders. And I would think that Askarov, regardless of that, would get probably some experience under his belt with the team this year. You see teams time to time carry 3 goalies. Sam Darnold going crazy. Oh boy, he alone almost cost them the game against the Jaguars, but he had a nice bounce back. It's been a good resurgence for him. And again, even though we might not be the most dominant team with 8 wins, oh, here we go, 5-on-3. Granlund, hey, I can't complain with 8-2. Here's Eklund. Oh, and the seam pass is broken up. Puck gets cleared. 20 seconds left on the 2-man advantage. Celebrating will be a top 10 player. He looks special. Yeah, I saw this great breakdown of his off puck play with Mike Kelly from NHL Network. Toffoli shoots. Oh, and just wide of the net. And that puck nicely saved by Celebrini at the top of the zone. He'll come in. He'll shoot. And that was blocked. Still in the zone, though. One-timer, and Binnington was there. Good read from him. 1:10 left now in 5-on-4 as Eklund will send this over to Celebrini. A little back pass. Granlund at the point. Skating down behind the net. Looking out in front, and Binnington able to deny them, but Toffoli stuffs it home. Oh, actually, Wenberg is going to get that one. I thought Toffoli got a stick on it. But the Sharks tied up. Alex Wenberg, he's flashed at moments, you know. Even though the cap hit for Wenberg was pretty substantial, good for him. You know, he's fitting in fine, I'd say. 8-2 is 8-2, yeah. ABG, Cashman, and Grenard, yeah. Those off-season pickups have been stellar. All 3 of them have been integral. Van Ginkel, man, that guy's so fun to watch. From Jake's home state of Iowa, take Celebrini over Bedard, and you're a Blackhawks fan. Well, and wow, that was. Oh, Luke Cummins from St. Louis. I didn't know that. Well, anyway, he had a point blank chance right there. Almost stuffed it in. Nita Van Ginkel, yeah. But yeah, that's not a bold take by any means, but that does mean a lot though if you're watching the Chicago Blackhawks primarily. But yeah, Celebrini, he still hasn't even played 10 games, I don't think. But yeah, he's showing why he's a complete player. You know, beauty of a goalie. Yes, indeed. And the Sharks' power play hasn't been great this year, but I mean, it's been tailing a little bit recently, but overall, it's for a team that doesn't really have a true power play quarterback, it's actually been all right. You need a Sully jersey too. hopefully, once I find work again, um, I can send in this jersey. Maybe get I don't know, maybe get Eklund or something. I got a teal one. Maybe get Celebrini. Who knows? Maybe turn this into an Askarov jersey. I don't know. How are the Sharks better than the Hawks? I mean, by point percentage, they're basically tied right now. But one thing I know the Sharks have been probably the best facet of the Sharks game has been well, first of all, the Sharks have only won 3 games in regulation out of 21. So in overtime, they've actually been a decent team. And also the goaltending's been very good. Um, even though the team is very frequently under siege. Max, oh yeah, I didn't see this. Max Pacioretty was going to be traded to the Kings. The Kings were going to trade an asset to the Sabres. The Montreal Canadiens were going to put their hands on Ryan O'Reilly before the 18-19 season. Huh. I'm just trying to think of what that team was like that went to the Stanley Cup final. But of course, Ryan O'Reilly winning the Conn Smythe in 2019 for St. Louis and then serving as their captain. One of my favorite players of this era, easily. As I would call him, the slightly lesser Patrice Bergeron of the Western Conference. Even though, oh yeah, he's on Nashville now. Always having fun in Columbus tonight. Tied 5-5 in the middle of the second. Wow, that's a barn burner. And intermission, we'll look a little bit at what's happening around the NHL. It's a busy Thursday, of course. All right, looks like Askarov's a little settled in now. That's good to see. 1-1. Of course, the Blues striking just 11 seconds into the game off of an Askarov turnover. But then the Sharks equalize on the power play, 5-on-4, even though they had some time 5-on-3. .940 left in this first period. St. Louis has the edge in shots, 5-4. You'll go to more Sharks games. Yeah, I mean, like, enjoy going to them right now because I'm sure that you can. It's one of those things where you can probably buy a ticket, in the upper bowl, and just if you're smart enough, you can identify ways to move down a little bit, right? Especially those weekday games, right? The Tuesday games. All right. Blues are going to skate this out of their zone. Man, the Blues look like almost I don't want to say a totally different team, but yeah, their forward group has undergone some changes from the days when I watched them a lot more closely. I've only been watching for 2 years. You haven't been to a game yet. Well, there are limited tickets still available for Saturday's game. Oh, Sharks threatening. They're doing a nice job holding the zone in the first period. But yeah, again, Saturday is Joe Thornton's retirement, his number retirement. So I know the Sharks said that there were limited tickets available. It should be a sellout. But yeah. That guy, what's going on? Go Sharks. Heck yeah. This is definitely entertaining. Askarov, of course, a little shaky in those opening couple of minutes, and he nearly turned it over again. He's not afraid to play the puck. Can't go, unfortunately. Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, I would love to be there, but I'm nowhere near Sharks, nowhere near the Shark Tank these days. But yeah. All right, we hit a commercial break. Cortana. All right. Well, I guess we can take a look at some games going on while this commercial break's going down for real. What is that? The Devils are actually beating the Hurricanes for a change? That rarely happens. It's 2-1 New Jersey with 5 minutes left. Golden Knights, after being shut out by the Maple Leafs, are up 2-0 on the Senators. Boston, I believe their first game with interim head coach Joe Sacco after Montgomery was fired, lead Utah 1-0. Capitals, I know that they're going to be without Ovechkin for at least a month, but they just keep it rolling. Halfway through their game against the Avalanche, they have a 1-0 lead We've got 5-5 between the Blue Jackets and Lightning. Of course, I always think of that playoff series back in 2019. And soon we'll have some other games starting. We got we have a lot of games going on. So we'll be sure to check in on those pretty soon too. The Monty firing made no sense. Guy didn't even last 3 years there. It's amazing now. You know, I've heard this expression before. Coaches are hired to be fired. I just wish that we didn't see that kind of turnover as frequently. Best Sharks team you've seen so far. Oh, okay, yeah. That's fair, Jake. That's fair. I don't even care about the record. Yeah, exactly. This is about development. This is about identity and culture, right? Yeah, and about and don't forget we have the youngest head coach in the NHL, so he's got to develop alongside these players too. Okay, cool. Sounds good, Jake. Iowa Jake. Bruins made a huge mistake firing Bruce Cassidy. Yeah, again, that was one where it was like this team is in contention for the division title every year. They seemingly win playoff series pretty much about every year. You know, and like what else can you ask for, right? The salary cap situation got tighter and tighter as he was over there, and but he doesn't sign these players to contracts. He's not the one who's calling the shots at the draft. Looks like the Blues will go on the power play though. It's going to the box for San Jose. This guy I've kind of also forgotten about recently. Wasn't he a Blues draft pick, Clem Shady? He's kind of bounced around in his career. I really liked him on Detroit, but also I thought Edmonton. He was a good fit there. But he'll be in the sin bin for a couple of minutes here. The Blues fired Jim Montgomery. Yeah, that was earlier this week. Leafs Knights game was a physical game. All I know is the White Cloud hit. Let's see here. All right. St. Louis, 27th ranked power play. Sharks penalty kill is 13th. I didn't know it was that good. And there's a chance in front, and just missing the net was Kyrou. He had a seam there. Askarov tried to get over, but I don't think he would have saved that. So the first penalty kill for Yaroslav Askarov. Thomas down low. Oh, they were setting up a one-timer in the slot, but that was knocked away. Lived on the same street as Al Sims' parents before they passed away. Al. Yeah. I wasn't really watching the Sharks early in their existence. I was just a little kid, but yeah. Definitely shared that here. Clean was a Blue. He didn't resign because he kept bouncing back to the AHL. Wallman was a Blue too. Oh, I did not know that. The Sharks shorty last night was awesome. That again, Mikhail Granlund. I mean, it's amazing what he's done in Teal. He leads all forwards in time on ice on the penalty kill, and he leads all the skaters in power play time on ice. All right, Blues having a little difficulty getting set up. They only have 30 seconds left here. Now they're going to work it to the point. Scott Perunovich is out there. I liked what I had seen from him. The one-timer blocked by Wenberg. Nice job there. And Dellandrea trying to skate that out, but the puck gets away from him. Jumping into the play is Perunovich. He'll work that around to Zach Bolduc. Shen a shot, looking for a deflection in front. Still held in the zone as the penalty expires. Sharks trying to get it clear here. They're going to softly... Oh, Sports Geeks! Hello, how am I? Well, I'm happy to see Askarov out here. Albeit struggling in the opening couple of minutes, but looks like he's settled down a decent bit. New Jersey is winning. Oh, yeah, by the way, we'll give Cortana a donation treat. Thank you again, Sports Geeks. Let's get her some organic apple here. We're taking a break from the Honey Crisps. We're going with the Fuji's today. There's one for Cortana. Let's give her another one. All right, cool. I'm just hoping that I'm not getting a cold. I had one last month. I don't need another one. Thank you so much. Steph Nason got his 10th. Oh, against the Hurricanes, too. I don't know. You guys got to finish the job, though. Carolina is not an easy team to bring down. Askarov didn't give up a goal. Then what happened? He opened up the bakery, though, because we saw a turnover from the team. Eklund, Celebrini, and Zetterlund. Yeah, Zetterlund's been. I don't know. From what I've seen, Zetterlund's been kind of quiet. He was playing. He was having more of an impact, I guess, earlier this year. But yeah, Eklund again. He's coming into his own. I don't know if he's going to be like a top line stud when this team has its, young the other top prospects in the roster. But I'm happy with the progress he's made. He's played with a little more snarl too. All right. Oh yeah, Jack Thompson in the lineup as well for the Sharks. Haven't really watched his defensive game so much, at least in terms of coverage, but his offensive abilities and ability to from a transitional standpoint, I think they look like decent so far. All right. Well, Sharks holding the zone here with the top line. Macklin, looking for the seam pass and a one-timer that rims around. Defensively, the Sharks are much better. I mean, I definitely think in terms of goaltending, but yeah, it seems like they're hard, even though they might not be as good at like kind of clearing the puck and getting out of the zone, they are making teams work for their goals more. Yes. Thomas a shot and wide of Askarov actually did come up with the glove save there with 4 minutes remaining in the period. We'll go to the final commercial break of the first. All right. Torts needs to rip the Flyers apart. They were kind of riding a bit of a good streak for a little bit there, right? They were kind of getting back into the middle of the pack in that division. But yeah, do you like what you see from Mishkov so far? Yeah. Oh yeah, you had a pair of AIs. Yeah. Did anybody else have some Allen Iverson kicks? I had a pair of slip-ons. Oh yeah, the slip-ons too, Waterbug. Nice. Yeah, I mean, like AI wasn't my favorite player, but like it's kind of a fashion thing back then, right? I remember my black and blue and one shorts. I had my favorite shoes I ever had for basketball. I had the Tracy McGrady the T Mac 2s in Adidas. Those things were so fresh. They were like white with these blue stripes because he was playing for the Magic. I had a pair of Nikes that I think both Allen Houston and my favorite player Gary Payton were wearing. My first pair of basketball kicks I think were Sean Kemp's. I think they were Reeboks. We're gonna talk about the Sixers. They suck again. I thought they were supposed to be like toward the top of the conference. The Cavaliers are good. What the hell? Any compliments on the Sharks defense? Yeah, really. There were some rough years there. I think that's the first time we've ever talked about kicks on this channel. 2-11. Jesus. What is Embiid out? Or is he getting like quadruple teamed? Well, at least the Eagles are playing well. If that's your team, with an 8-2 record. Yeah, somebody's got to beat the Lions in the playoffs. Yeah, the Kobe Crazy Eights. Okay. I don't know what those look like, but I remember the Kobe twos were pretty fresh. All right. 8-7, the Blues lead in shots. Al Sims told you Owen Nolan was the reason he got let go. Oh, really? Nolan had clout, was nasty, a nasty ass to Al. The GM, of course, backed Owen Nolan. Nolan was a bully. I mean, on the ice, Owen Nolan was, that's exactly what you wanted. I wasn't really familiar with how he was off the ice. You know, you didn't have the same access to players from a media standpoint as you do now, right? Oh, and a big pet save by Askarov as he sprawls, does the splits, and takes that away from Robert Thomas. Great save. That's definitely the best of his career so far. Great save, man. I think that redeems him from the little blunder to start the game. Blues are gonna have this around the net though. Broken up by Ruda. Let's see if we can get the clear here, but Shen very fierce on the puck. Yeah, that was a great save, huh? Mishkov has played well. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Uh, hey, could get the first overall pick this year. Blues, man, they've been all right. Askarov's going to save this as the shot came in from the point, but the Blues threatening here, registering now their 11th shot on goal. Mishkov's played well. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I guess when I think of the Flyers, though, I still think that they're kind of missing that like game breaker of a top line center. That would, that's ultimately what Michkov is going to need to be like a game breaking superstar, like at the wing position, like a Kirill Kaprizov, something like that. I'll never gotten another job in the NHL afterwards. Oh wow. Yeah, Owen Nolan is definitely beloved by the Sharks fans out here. I think that he was really he came over in a trade for Sandis Ozolinsh, who was almost, he was in the Norris conversation once or twice for Colorado, but Nolan was a star on what was initially a bad Sharks team, and is, I think, probably one of the most influential figures in the organization. Maybe 2-on-1. Here's Wenberg. He has the goal tonight, looking for the seam pass, and that trickles through. A good back checking from St. Louis there. All right, under 2 minutes now. Liljegren's going to shoot this in. He was never one of your favorites, really? And now a chance the other way for St. Louis, a backhander and a blocker save from Askarov. That was a little misdirection there. Very deceptive from whoever shot that. Now another chance for the Blues at the circle. Good traffic in front, but the Sharks played that well. Wenberg able to clear this down, but this is going to go for icing with a $1:14 left. Ovi's out 4-6. Yeah, I know that does suck. And also, well, yeah, especially since he was scoring at such a torrid pace, I wouldn't expect him to be able to resume that once he's healthy, because that's a decent amount of time off. Not to mention Freddie Anderson for the Hurricanes could miss up to 3 months as he just had knee surgery. That's a blow for the Hurricanes. Don't think Kuts needs to be captain anymore. Yeah, if Konechny, was he extended anytime recently? Because I thought he was going to be a free agent at the end of this year. Whatever happened to Thomas Borlo? It's funny. I actually thought about the same thing today too. I mean, I don't watch the Cuda. I just kind of keep a tab on them. But don't forget, Cuda wasn't, or Cuda, Bordalo wasn't a Mike Greer pick. So I mean, it's not like Askarov able to come up with that shot from the low slot, saving that bid from Jordan Cairo again. So Askarov, okay, he's finding his groove a little bit. From San Jose, I don't just wasn't that into him. All right, well, I guess who was your first favorite San Jose Shark? Like the first one who came in, and you're like, "Whoa, who's this guy?" Right? It might be Marlowe. It might be I don't know how long ago you were watching them precisely, but you could talk about Jeff Friesen, Ray Whitney. Konechny was extended for 8 years. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, you want you know a proven veteran to play alongside the Mishkovs and the other youngsters. Wait, who's that guy that you had at the start of the season? Come on, Nick. He was only 18 years old. Come on. He has a cool name too. Jet Luchenko. There we go. Oh, that was a great block there because that was an open cage for the Blues. And now charging ahead is Grenland. Here he comes. Grenland can send it back for Celebrini. A shot that goes just wide of the net. 5 seconds left. The Blues will skate this out. But yeah, a couple of grade A chances for the Blues to close out this period. But Askarov, despite that terrible giveaway to start the game why did I say that the Blues were still on the power play? But yeah, Askarov has weathered the storm nicely. First favorite was Carlson because he was the only guy you knew of for a bit. Well, yeah, not to mention, I mean, that the season he had 2 years ago was incredible. I loved watching him that year, and I mean, we can be very thankful as Sharks fans for what Eric Carlson was able to net us in the offseason when we made that trade with the Penguins. But he was injury prone. Yeah, overall, Carlson by no means was. I don't think he was a great Shark. He had one exceptional year, but yeah, at least the Sharks were able to kind of clean up, or they were able to sort of redeem themselves a little bit. But yeah, that was a huge trade and a huge contract, of course. You can have EK back. Yeah, says the Penguins fan. Pavelski and Burns. You also need a damn goalie, Erson and Fedotov. Yeah, Fedotov's been kind of disappointing so far. San Jose got so lucky to get Jumbo. Yeah, I mean, when I heard about that trade, I didn't. This is like when I'm starting to really get into hockey, and I was like, Joe Thornton, like in the video games I played, he was like one of the top scorers, or like he was one of the top point producers in the last season or two. So I just knew about him. I'd never seen him before. Cortana, not right now, honey. You want to get a Carlson jersey? I'll sell you my Ottawa one if you want. Pat Falloon. Oh, okay. Spokane Chief Pat Falloon. Nice. Second overall pick. And I mean, he had a couple of productive years. Just wasn't the superstar that I'm sure that the fans were hoping for initially. But the Sharks they were like other expansion teams around that time. They were dealt a pretty bad hand, as an expansion franchise. Probably Patty. Kizio, Falloon, and Ricci. I don't know if those guys will show up for the alumni game because none of them actually played with Jumbo. Cortana Bear. Look at this one. Look at this one right here. She wants more goals, more teal goals. Look at this one. Weren't Marlowe and Thornton in the same draft class? Yeah, they were. Thornton was first, and then Marlowe was second. And then they ended up playing together for over a decade. That's pretty great. But yeah, with this alumni game, I would think there are lots of Sharks alumni who live in the area. Ryan Clough does, Devin Setaguchi. I mean, it'd be a killer if Pavelski, girl, no, not right now, you silly dingus. if who went number one over Falloon? Oh God, wait, that was 1991. So was that Lindros? It was Lindros then Falloon, right? And then I want to say no, Scott Niedermayer wasn't in that draft class, was he? All right, I got to look this up. So yeah, it was Lindros, Falloon, and then Niedermeyer. So the Sharks, they could have had Scott Niedermeyer, and then a couple of years later, I think they got like Mike Rathje or Andre Nazarov or somebody else, and the guy who went next was Chris Pronger. Yeah. Also in this draft class in 1994 was Peter Forsberg, drafted 6th overall. Marcus Naslund, 16th overall. The late great Ziggy Paul, 26th overall. Ray Whitney, the Sharks got him at 23rd. And he was the first Spokane Chief to have his number retired. How much do I sell jerseys for? Oh, I mean, it just depends if it's something that I got on eBay that is pretty common, like where like a lot of Panthers jerseys, like old Panthers jerseys can be found on there. Then I'm not going to sell that nearly as much as, if I sold my Pittsburgh Penguins Robo Penguin from the 1990s that has Mario Lemieux on it, like that I'd sell for, I wouldn't accept anything less than like $200, and even so, people would probably pay more for that. Why are so many people annoyed with JT Miller for taking a leave of absence? I haven't been looking at the comments for that. I didn't really want to, honestly. But look, if there's something that's troubling him, you want to nip that in the bud, right? And not distract yourself with. You don't want to be a distraction to your teammates, first of all, but to kind of flip things around, right? You want to be in the right frame of mind. This is your profession, but it's not everything in your life, right? If the Sharks weren't in the NHL, who would I root for and why? So yeah, because the Hurricanes are my second favorite team. I've been watching them since like 2018-19, but part of the real reason why I like them even more now is because Brent Burns is on the team, and I'll still probably cheer for them now. I'm just trying to think of like who else could theoretically be in that mix, right? Because probably Seattle. Right now, it would probably be the Seattle Kraken because that's the closest team for me. Can't believe the Bruins fired their coach. I know, Mike, right? That's remarkable. I mean, I understand that there's only so much you can do when trying to change up change the combinations of forwards, the combinations of defensemen. But I don't think that this soon is well. I guess just because it's cup or bust, right? They've been on the doorstep to, or at least they've seemed. It seems like they've thought themselves to be cup contenders, and they just feel like that could still happen, but they need to really light a fire under the players' butts, and that's what they thought was their best mode of doing that. Someone had to be a scapegoat. Former Shark tough guy. Who's got the podcast now? Addiction to drugs and alcohol. Wait, I'd have to scroll up. Yeah, you'll have to let me know on that, Roy. His record was 128 or 120 and 48. Yeah, I know, right? Got to switch to the Devils for Timo. I mean, I do love watching former Sharks score, but yeah, in the Canes versus Devils kind of rivalry there. I've been rooting for Carolina, watching them a good amount for the last like 6 years. But the Devils are beating the Hurricanes 2-1 at second intermission. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, Roy. Preds are such a disappointment. Yeah, Mike, you said it, man. They are a huge disappointment. I predicted them to finish second in their division. I'm probably not the only one, and I might have been a little aggressive with that prediction. But boy, oh boy, that looks bad right now. However, I mean, in 2019, we saw a similar situation with the Blues. They were in the doldrums of the standings, and they turned things around. It wasn't until January though. But right now, Nashville, in the mix for the worst record in the NHL, and subsequently the first overall pick. The worst 5 records in the NHL currently belong to the Predators, Blackhawks, Sharks. Looks like Canadiens and the Penguins are still one of the worst 5 records, I believe. Here, if I look at points percentages, yeah. Or excuse me, no, Blues. Blues are actually 5th worst in the NHL by points percentage. If the Flyers weren't in the league, you'd go for Seattle because of Jordan Eberle, or the Capitals because of the logo. Oh wow, even the Capitals. Interesting. The logo history. You'd probably be a Blackhawks fan. That was one team that I was starting to like them, and then they faced the Sharks in the playoffs when I lived in Chicago in the conference final, and the Blackhawks swept them, and I'm like, yeah, F that. I can't cheer for them. Don't worry, the salt is not flowing anymore. Let's see here. I clearly remember the first playoff series victory for San Jose. Yeah, that was their first playoff series. They won Game 7 at Detroit. Yep, on a blunder from Chris Osgood that Jamie Baker capitalized on. Everyone's saying the Preds were going to be so much better, but the Sharks are somehow better than them. Technically, the Sharks are 0.06 points percentage from a points percentage standpoint. They're basically tied with Nashville, but yeah, I mean, I feel better as a Sharks fan than I would be as a Predators fan. 7-10-4. Yeah, that's I'm not all that surprised. But I didn't think it would be quite that bad. The Jake Gensel deal might have been worth it for Tampa. This is really interesting. What Mike brings up here. So Jake Gensel, don't forget, was traded to the Hurricanes at the deadline last year. Jake Gensel was great as a Hurricane. Now in the offseason, he signs with the Lightning, and Martin Necas was at the top of the media's trade, likely to be traded. And it took a while, but the Canes actually were able to make things work with Necas. And he's doing even better than Jake Gensel this year. He has played remarkably well as the offensive catalyst for the Hurricanes by and large. So, I mean, that is working out great for both Carolina and Tampa in that sense. Brent Myers. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that must have been I wonder when he played for San Jose, but Brent Myers. Yeah, Brent Myers. Interesting spelling. Yeah, I don't remember him because I wasn't really watching the Sharks at that point. I'd go to like a game every year, but he was there for a little bit of his career. Played 154 games. Carolina just scored 12 seconds into the period. Crosby needs to get the hell out of Pittsburgh. Well, does he want to spend the last year or two of his career somewhere else? Because his contract, I think, is more than affordable for some teams out there. Yeah, Nashville's so bad that they got a penalty for starting the wrong lineup. That, I mean, isn't that just like a microcosm of what the year has been for them so far? I mean, if there's a coach that I would prematurely fire, Andrew Brunette might be at the top of that list. But then again, like I said, first of all, Nashville got hot in the second half last year. And like I was saying with St. Louis in the 18-19 season, they had shaken up their roster a decent amount going into that year. And after a few months, albeit disastrous, they cleaned things up and they won the Stanley Cup, right? Plus, they got a hot goaltender, right? You had the feel, yeah. Some and sports geeks all echo that. I mean, there were plenty of viewers here who said that Nashville's already getting overhyped. I was on the other side of things, but there you go. And the thing for Nashville is that as much as I love Ryan O'Reilly, like they don't have that one like just breakneck speed centerman who can just push play, right? They don't have that true number one center, the game breaker. Kind of like I was saying with Philadelphia earlier. Yeah, Brunette will be gone by the end of the year. You might be right, man. If they miss the playoffs, I mean, shoot, if they continue this, I could see them firing him pretty soon. Hey, what's up, Ehog? How you doing, man? Good game so far, though. Blues, a couple times I thought they could have taken the lead, but Askarov's made a couple of very impressive saves. After, of course, the first goal that St. Louis scored. But yeah, the Sharks have work to do for sure. They got their goal, of course, on the man advantage. Brant Myers, a really well spoken man. Let's see here. Is he on Spotify? Or maybe I can find him on YouTube here. Brant Myers. But yeah, another guy, Roy. Let's see here. Who am I thinking of? I saw this other player, kind of a journeyman for, NHL player, speak with Chris Nyland. I think that they run a podcast together, and the feature I saw was with Bob Probert's wife. And we're here we are talking about somebody else who had substance abuse problems, and really it caught up to him after his NHL career had come to an end, and the media, the book and the documentary about Bob Probert and his struggles inspired him to this young player, former player, to get clean. That was if you can find that podcast, I sincerely recommend it. Again, Chris Nyland is the one who's kind of driving the ship on that. Oh, and he's on YouTube. Oh, great. Let's hear Brant. Here we go. Yeah. Brant Myers podcast. Unhammered. All right. We got to get him to 1,000 subs. All right, cool. Thanks for the recommendation there. That's one thing that I wasn't necessarily expecting to read a lot about, but unfortunately, there's been a lot of tragedy around sport, professional athletes, but in our case, hockey players, professional, guys in the NHL or even in the minors, and substance abuse, and of course concussions being, a huge factor in that. I've learned a lot of stories, or learned a lot about what these players were going through, and it's something that I think that we, there always should be, conversation around that, and hopefully we don't see the same rate of players being affected by that. Do I have any jerseys of teams that don't exist anymore? Not too many like original jerseys from the time that they were playing, but like, guys, I'm going to answer that question. But first, we need to cut to this one right here. Look at this little sweet potato here. Look at this sweet potato. Just craving attention and snacks. I'll give her a couple. Yeah, and let me know if you have any fur friends in the chat here. You're gonna go to the Erie Otters. Oh, cool. So Matthew Schaefer, right? You get to see him. I just learned a little bit about him today. As somebody that the Sharks could maybe look at as a draft prospect. Tampa and Columbus 5-5. Yeah, that's right. Do I have any Sonics jersey? No, as a kid I had a Gary Payton, but I don't anymore. I gotta get one though. But yeah, teams that don't exist, like I have, like kind of like how Mitchell and Ness does, or like CCM Vintage. I have a Nordiques, I have a Whalers, I have a North Stars. I do have one powder blue Thrashers jersey too. Sports Geeks dropping the 99. Whoop, whoop. Thank you kindly. That's weird. Doesn't. Oh, you just don't have a message there. All right, let's get Cortana another treat then. Oh, here, I got a lot of this jerky here. Here you go, girl. There we go. There she goes. Got a dog named Max and two cats named McDouble and Small Fry. That's pretty amazing. I like that. That's creative. Um, Max is the name of Mrs. Twister's parents' dog. Knuckles Nyland. Yeah, yeah. I didn't get to see him play back in the day, but he seemed like a pretty awesome guy. Like lots of great stories. The stories of him and Bob Probert and their travels abroad. That was really interesting to listen to. They went to like Afghanistan and other parts of like the Middle East. Um, yeah, some really neat stories from them. You got to get some North Star stuff. Yeah, of course. How's Idaho? Idaho's very Idahoan today. Just completely cloudy and raining. It's been raining almost for like the last 2 weeks nonstop. Oh, you're good. You're good there, Rick. Uh, get your hands on an Atlanta Thrashers jersey, like the colors and the logo. Yeah, a lot of that has really aged well over time in the hockey community. People seem to really love that logo. Oh wait, by the way, whoa, the second period started. You guys are so great in the chat here that the time just goes by in the blink of an eye. So we'll see if the Sharks can put a little bit more offense together. The Blues generated some nice momentum heading into this second period. And here's a save from Bennington as the Sharks are out there with their fourth line. Do I like Idaho better, or do I wish I was back in the Bay? There are trade-offs between the two because certainly they're not the same. But I like the trade-offs here more. I didn't want to be in a large populated area anymore. I'm not like out in the country as much, but I'm kind of like taking that extra step to hopefully one day get a little bit more off the grid and I don't know, have some animals and stuff. That'd be pretty kick ass. But yeah, I like it here. I mean, the nature's incredible. I can drive to ski mountains within 75 minutes. I've got my pick of 4 or 5 of them, and yeah, there's some other cool things about being around here. I also like having the 4 seasons, more more distinct seasons. All right. Ryan Suter is a Blue. I forgot about that. What do I think of the names McDouble and Small Fry? Oh, I had mentioned that a moment ago. That's pretty creative. I like that. Although I'm trying to think of like what I would name my critters if we're talking about like fast food references. I'm not sure. Like I wouldn't name my cat Orange Chicken. Although if it was an orange cat and it hit all at the time, I guess it would be an orange chicken. All right. Sharks holding the zone here. Shot from the point. Bennington gets a piece. Now Celebrini at the corner. Looks in the slot. Toffoli bounced off his stick. All right. So Ruta is going to have to initiate a clear. I didn't really like that play. Looked a little lackadaisical to me. Celebrini, nice job stripping the puck, though. And the Sharks will initiate a clear. No, that's Helldin from the point. As a fat orange boy, it's small fry is fat in a tortoise shell. Here we go. Yeah, well, Mrs. Twister, she comes from a family that just loves animals, so they had all kinds of animals growing up. One of her cats is what's called, I don't know if people are too familiar with cat breeds, but one is part what's called Maine, like the state of Maine coon, like a coon count or a coon hound. That's Corton's part coon hound, by the way. She's 16 pounds. She's been as heavy as 18 pounds, and she's like sprawled out. She's like this freaking big. She a big fluffy kitty. She's a real character. I have featured her on the channel once or twice though. Maybe I'll do another stream from her place so we can say hi to her. Maine Coons are very large. Yeah, she's only like part, so she's not quite as big. But she's only 2 years old, so she can keep growing. Line of employment. I'm currently looking for full-time work. I was actually trying to run this as a full-time operation, but It's in like advertising creative. Oh, so video production, writing articles, landing pages, um, and I was in the gaming space for a while. But I'd like to, I love making content around hockey. I'd like to continue doing that in sports. Food names, Tommy Boy. Hey, good to see you here. Regal names are best for outlier pets. Um, there's this one. Just, I mean, I'm sure that it's featured in dog shows. He comes to the dog park that I take Cortana to. His name is Rainier. Like Mount Rainier in Washington. I call him Prince Rainier. And actually, he's probably Cortana's favorite dog. He's very even tempered. Sounds like a fun line of work. Yeah, I'd say probably uh, my favorite work experiences. This is like over a decade ago. I worked in PC hardware. Like computer parts that people would use to assemble PCs to play the best games out there on the highest settings. So I got to go to some conventions for that. Like I went to BlizzCon, which is Blizzard's annual trade show, for World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft. Oh God, Kairu, Vucinovic, and Captain at the point here for Pareko. So yeah, I got to exhibit it at that, and like Penny Arcade Expo. There's one in Seattle, there's one in Boston now, and one in Austin as well. And we're talking about like tens of thousands of people going. I had a lot of fun with that back in the day. Thomas. And yeah, Sharks are their puck management has not been good early on in these opening minutes here. Thomas, the seam pass to P.O. Joseph. He was a pretty good Penguin last year, I thought. Thomas looking for the seam pass. It ramps up a stick and into the glove of Askarov for a cover up. P.O. Joseph, Grezlik is trash. Oh, really? Oh, Warcraft 2 and 3. Yeah, so this was when Diablo 3 had recently come out, I think. Yeah. That's I only went to BlizzCon once. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I remember meeting this family. This whole family flew in from New Zealand to go to the conference. I mean, Blizzard has some of the most diehard fans out there, right? Dougie Hamilton just put the Devils ahead. Well, it's good that he's healthy. And now we're moving from beer to whiskey. Helps the throat, Having Tanger out. Oh, I didn't know Letang was out too. Cunningham has been decent. Yeah, he's a bit of a desert offensively, but yeah, defensively he does play very well. All right, so 16-9, the shots favor St. Louis, but maybe a 2-on-1 here. Wenberg and a chance in front. And Bennington knocked it away. Costin on the doorstep. What a great the composure of Bennington to not like bite on that, not like bite with a poke check. That's a great read from Bennington. Sharks expeditions or expectations? I guess the Sharks are more or less performing to my expectations. If Buffalo makes the playoffs, how far will they get? You know what? I think Florida is still the team to beat in the East. But if they face a different team, I think they could be capable of winning a round. I don't have much confidence in them beyond that. But yeah, I mean the East, even though there are some really good teams out there right now, I think that when push comes to shove, the Panthers are still the most deadly. If the Predators are looking for uh, like a two-way defenseman or an all-zone defenseman, get Wallman or McAvoy. I don't think they can get McAvoy. I wouldn't think Boston would be willing to part from him. He's still got plenty of great years left there in Boston, and I don't think Don Sweeney's keen on rebuilding. But like Jake Wallman, man, Jake Wallman's been a great pickup for the Sharks. I think that yeah, that would be kind of the target you'd want to look out for. Crazy that Fabro. I guess Fabro had fallen out of favor with the Preds, but yeah, I thought that he was going to have a more prolific career. We needed to get Shen and Carrier out. You like the Buffalo Slug? Now there are some people who are fans of the Buffalo Slug. For whatever reason, growing up, I didn't like the original Sabres look. I didn't like the goat head, but I like the Buffalo Slug. Now the Buffalo Slug, it gets a little bit too much hate. The story behind the logo is really interesting, but of course, I'm happy that the Sabres have the look they do right now. Classic royal and gold. Although the goat head look is in today's uniform template looks incredible. There's a kind of like a NHL, like a Chell content creator who posted a picture today on X, and he had recently picked up a couple of new hats from New Era because now New Era sells NHL hats again. I love that, and or at least they're making they have them available on their website. And yeah, he got the goat head hat, and I was like, damn it, I tried to get that online, but it was sold out. Hopefully, it's back in stock soon. How's Toffoli? Toffoli, you're going to get goal scoring from him. You're not going to get like a whole lot else, and he's doing that well for the Sharks. So, all in all, I've been pleased with his play. Sharks stealth is the best hands down. Some people would still say that. I actually like the Cali fin more. It's got more character to it, but the stealth with like if they change the numbers to look like the numbers on the current jerseys, I think that would be an awesome look. And just something going on at the bottom would be nice too. Is Jan Rudis still there? He is, yeah. Once he plays out his contract, unless he gets traded, even though that wouldn't be for much value. Yeah, I don't see him staying in TLB on this though. 06 alternate best SJ jersey. Oh, that was the first jersey I ever had. I love that one. Just it's almost like entirely black. Old logo was better for San Jose. Some people, are still stick by that. I think that it hasn't aged quite as well as like let's say the Mighty Ducks, but obviously it brings up a lot of nostalgia for me. I think the current logo though, I would be fine if San Jose like never changed that. You feel bad for the Sharks? No, don't feel bad. I mean, think of it this way. The Sharks, it took a little while for them to make the big significant change to turn this franchise around, but they have a good roadmap with Mike Greer's regime. At least I can see what his sort of vision is going forward, and the young talent, the prospects are overall performing very well. So it's like, all right, you know what? If this is what it's going to take for us to compete for a Stanley Cup and to hopefully have a long window in which we can do that, I'm in favor of it. And who knows, maybe we can challenge for more than just one Stanley Cup. John Hines said the Sharks will never be good. Oh, really? No wonder I'm not a John Hines believer. I have no idea how the Wild are this good with him at the helm. They've got some great talent. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, never. Sharks have all the draft capital and all the cap space. Generally speaking, yes, that's good. I think I'd like to see Greer get a little bit more value in getting more second and third round kind of picks in stock. But generally speaking, he's done a really good job with managing his draft capital. Getting somebody like Wallman, he got a second round pick for that. Anyway, middle of this period now, 12:40 left in the period. There hasn't been a lot of activity in the last couple of minutes, but the Blues have been the better team. Not liking the Fingers? Interesting. The LTL still hasn't grown on you. I can understand that. I'd like to see them play with black helmets, gloves, pants. But the jersey itself is I think very solid. All right, can the Sharks get something going in transition here? Now they're just going to get a change. Brandon Montour, loved him in Florida. Uh, he had a hat trick with Seattle. That's about all I know. Wellman for John, there you are. I was wondering when you'd be popping in here. Flower just moved to third all-time in games played. Yeah, how amazing would that be for even if he's just a backup for Fleury to be on a Stanley Cup team to finish his career? CBJ shorthanded. Oh, good for the Jackets. Seattle needs an alternate. Yeah, I'd like to see one too. Now's the time. It's their fourth year. Did I see the Blues Winter Classic jersey? Yeah, I liked. I liked that they gave us a different, like a jersey that we haven't really seen from St. Louis before. Just the straight word mark. It's not like super sharp, but it's a really good compliment to what the Blackhawks are doing. So overall, I'm happy with what that uniform matchup looks like. Duck's a Hawks fan. Oh, we do have a couple of Blackhawks fans here tonight. Dave Carl, University of Denver head coach, will get a shot somewhere. Dave Carl, didn't Matt Carl? Is he related to Matt Carl? Because I think Matt Carl went to University of Denver, right? That was one guy who didn't really pan out as a Shark to the degree that he was expected to. But he did have 730 games in the NHL. Brett with his second of the game. Oh, wow. 4-2. Well, here we go. The Devils finally sticking it to the Hurricanes. You thought the Sens would be better? Yeah, me too. Me too. Now tied 6-6. Wow. All right. Nice poke check there from Shen. The arena in Forsyth County, Georgia has approved every arena vote and is ready to begin at the NHL Awards. Wow. That's a pretty significant development. Why is Ottawa called the Senators? Well, Ottawa is the capital of Canada, so I can't really explain beyond that, but that's probably the direction I'd lead you into. 60 goals in a season. Holy moly. Nice, Alex. Wait, I forget, Alex. Aren't you are you a Blues fan? I thought that we had an Alex who was a Blues fan. What team name do I like for Utah? You'll have to remind me of the finalists. I think Mammoth would be the freaking coolest brand, though. I really would like Mammoth. Yeti would be fine as well. But mammoths are cool. We're cool animals, man. Devils. Okay, Alex. Guess what team your player is on? I don't know. I have a 1 in 32 chance. But if it's not Chicago, I'm going to say let's say I'll say Tampa Bay. Cleveland Barons. Boy, that's kind of a forgotten team. They were only in the NHL as the Cleveland Barons for 2 seasons. The old Seals. 8:30 remaining. Still, of course, a 1-1 game. Montreal. Oh, okay, that makes sense. People are pretty high on Montreal. Montreal's future going forward as one of the best groups of young talent. Cole Caulfield being at the top of NHL goal scorers, and they score as that shot trickles through the pads of Askarov. Jordan Kyrou finally able to break through against the New Sharks netminder as St. Louis takes the 2-1 lead. All right, let's give Cortana a treat here. All right, so on their 18th shot, the Blues reclaim the lead here. All right. There you go, Cortana. You hate Dallas. Yeah, it's funny because I was like, all right, what team is he thinking of? Maybe a team with a good future, like Dallas? And I'm like, wait a second, Dallas is in the same division as you. Canadians have been disappointing so far. Yeah, I thought they'd be a little better. Is Couture going to retire? I think so. He's basically missed now about, all but 6 games in the last 90 plus games. Brock Faber, yeah. Boy, he came along very quickly for them. Let's see if the Sharks can respond. Here's Cunnin. And Cunnin, of course, is a desert offensively as he couldn't quite connect on the rush there. Okay. A purple Blues jersey. Was that a practice jersey? You hope Couture's number gets retired? I don't think that it will, unfortunately. Because then you'd have to retire like Pavelski, you'd have to retire Burns, you'd have to consider retiring Nolans, you'd have to consider retiring, oh God, dare I say, Mark-Edouard Vlasic's. I don't know. Couture is one of the 5 or best 6 San Jose Sharks of all time. Very fair. But I wouldn't quite put him in the number retirement category. He's close. Pavelski, sure. If you do Pavelski, then I'm gonna start tooting the Couture horn. But that's just because I love Logan. Yeah, really, right, Tommy boy? We should retire Pavelski. I mean, Pavelski, I was watching this as we go to a commercial break here. I was watching a compilation of all the Sharks playoff goals from 2010 to 19. Dude, it is just a Pavelski highlight reel. It's incredible how clutch and how much of a catalyst he was for that team in the postseason, especially. Joe Pavelski, I didn't appreciate him enough as a Shark, really. All right, I gotta use the restroom, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, oops. I need to refresh my feed here. Ryan Ellis is still getting paid. Yeah. Ryan Ellis, man, when he had his mojo going, he was so fun to watch as a puck moving right-handed shot for Nashville. Not to mention, kind of like Matthias Ekholm, pretty epic beard, I gotta say. Bannister with the back to back. Oh, is that right? I'll have to take a look. Waterbug. Oh, it's a Hockey Fights Cancer jersey. Okay, okay. If Joe Pavelski's number doesn't get retired, I'm suing the entire Sharks organization. All right. Yeah, I if they want to retire like Pavelski and Burns, that's cool. But again, like I really do think the Sharks should consider retiring Owen Nolan's jersey because I think that he was the first truly great San Jose Shark, like franchise player. But then again, if we retire those guys, I think we got to retire Nabokov. He's the I'm surprised that well, yeah, he's the franchise's best goaltender by a significant margin, and was Calder Trophy winner. He was I don't know if he was ever technically a Vezina finalist. Might have been. He wasn't that far away from being a Hart Trophy finalist once or twice. Robbie, what's going on? Yeah, it's good to see you here, man. Wait, shoot, your team, Leafs? Hmm. You got a picture Johnny Gaudreau signed, and it cost you a decent sub, but it's worth it. Wow. Yeah, I've really appreciated seeing the tributes and honorings of Gaudreau, of course. All right, we're down to 5:20 here in the second period, and the Blues look to be offside. The Sharks still at 12 shots. They really just haven't generated any offense. St. Louis has played hungry tonight as we go to another commercial break here. It's true since 1986. Right on. So you've been long-suffering Leafs fan. You want to see Burns and yeah, like on that comment here from Jake, I'd like to see there be kind of like a ring of honor for like Thornton and Marlowe were kind of like franchise changing players, kind of that next level down, like the Pavelskis, Burnses. Hey, if there was some sort of other way of kind of like recognizing them, right? Like as all time great Sharks, but maybe not quite like the Mount Rushmore, which arguably they should be on. Let's not get that too twisted, but I'd like to see that. Yeah, like a Ring of Honor. There you go. Most underrated teams. 06, 07 Thrashers. Really? 98, 99. Because I'm looking at this sequence here, and I'm thinking 06, 07 Sabres. I think they won the President's Trophy. Really, guys, this is a little far fetched, but you could say that in an alternate universe, if the 04-05 lockout doesn't happen, the Stanley Cup final that year is the Buffalo Sabres and the San Jose Sharks. 2021 Habs. That's such an interesting team to talk about. The 2017 Preds. Yeah, they just went on a tear as the lowest seeded team there. But yeah, those Habs, I thought they were largely a bad team. I mean, they had kind of a losing record in that that top heavy Canadian division. And yet, before that season started, somehow yours truly said that the Montreal Canadiens would make the Stanley Cup final and lose. And I was right. I had no idea how I pulled that out of my butt, but I liked the way that team was built. Yeah, exactly, Jake. You have to see that matchup. That would be Yevgeny Nabokov. I don't know if the Sharks would have made the trade for Joe Thornton. Maybe they would have. They were still a very good team before then, but yeah, it would have been a team led by Scott Hannon, Brad Stewart, and Yevgeny Nabokov otherwise, and Patty Marlowe against Ryan Miller and the Buffalo Sabres. Jason Pominville, maybe Thomas Vanek. Of the 2023 playoffs and picked Florida over Boston in 7 games. Wow. That is impressive. I sure as hell didn't. We're talking about wild upset predictions. Yeah, that is. Oh, Askarov just tripped up one of the Blues from behind the net. I'm surprised he didn't get a call for that. Oh wait, did the broadcast team just mention the former IHL team, the Kentucky Thoroughblades? Yes, they did. One of the great minor league hockey team names. Not to mention the Kentucky Thoroughblades. Their branding was purple and teal. Does it get any better than that? Charlotte Hornets. But yeah, let's take a look at this Askarov trip here. Okay, he was just trying to get back to his crease. Okay, that's fair. That's a fair no call. All right, down in the blue zone, Celebrini will take the draw, and one of the Blues jumped on the puck pretty early there. This is going to be a little Liljegren from behind the net, flipped up over to Pareko. He'll lead the rush, but his teammates are offside here with 3:39 remaining here in the period. In period number 2, that is. Alrighty. All right. Well, San Jose has not done very much at even strength ever since they were awarded those 2 power plays in the first period, capitalizing, of course, on one of them. We'll dump this in, and Perunovic plays it over to Falk. Nice protection there from Torpchenko. Yeah, as Randy Hahn says, the second period has been played in slow motion. He's right, though. Rather taking a 2004 cup and no jumbo? At the end of the day, yeah. It's a fair question. Javon Smith almost getting something going there. But yeah, I would take. Well, I would take a cup. The thing though is that's I was kind of watching the Sharks then, but it was really Jumbo's arrival that was the beginning of me becoming a big fan. But of course, I'll take that Stanley Cup no matter what. Uh, you know that that team, the Sharks were still a good franchise with Nabokov. Uh, you need to learn more about the Sharks' history. Hell, I do too because I didn't even know who Brant Myers was. Really, yeah. I mean, I didn't really watch hockey until 05, 06. For me, my favorite sports growing up uh, were, started with baseball. Basketball was my favorite sport for a while until I got into high school. And then I followed probably NFL the most. And then afterwards, it was, NFL hockey. Um, so, yeah, I really wasn't around so much. Nice save, Askarov. And was that on Cairo again? That's probably his second best save of the night. Oh, he robbed Pareko there. Nice job. So Askarov, he's letting 2 goals on 21 shots. The first, being that blunder at the very beginning. But other than that, he looks good. I think that he'll need some more games to really look a little smoother out there from in terms of like his motion, his body language. But all in all, he's playing his position pretty well. First and only Sonics. Oh, Darkness! I was wondering if you'd show up here. Yeah, you guys have been tilting the ice in your favor the second period. The first and only Sonics fan, which is funny considering the closest team to me growing up was the Warriors. I watched a decent amount of Warriors as a kid. And I mean, like, hey, with the Sonics out, I did follow the Warriors pretty closely in the 2010s. Even when Mark Jackson was the head coach there. But hey, they're still doing really well right now, even in the twilight of Curry and Draymond's career. The Warriors kind of sucked up until the early 20s. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they when I was really young, I didn't watch them during the Run TMC era, but really there wasn't much between that and the Curry era, except for the We Believe team with Baron Davis and Jason Richardson. You know, I mean, I was there during the days of Donald Foyle and Daniel Marshall and Anton Jameson. Ah, geez, boys, you can't come into the zone and just give it away like that. Here's Kairu, a broken stick, solid, and a turn to side off the backhand there. Maybe a chance in front, stripped by Toffoli. All right, he'll come into the zone with some speed. Nice knock. Nice defensive play from Perunovic there, though. I hate the Thunder with a deep passion, bringing back the Sonics. I never hated the Thunder, but like as soon as I heard that the Sonics were leaving, I'm like, oh, F that. The Blazers and the Warriors. Boy, the Blazers. When were they a top team in the conference? Like back, basically, the Blazers could have at least gone to the final a couple of times if it weren't for that Shaq and Kobe's dynasty, Kobe dynasty there in Los Angeles. The Sonics are, yeah, all signs point to Seattle getting a team, which is fantastic. Hey, boo boo. Here, let's give Cortana a treat there here though, because we have not had any goals in this period except for one St. Louis goal. So let's serve one up for Cortana. And guys, make sure you serve up a like if you haven't already. Smash that thumbs up button. You don't have to do it for me, but do it for my pal Cortana over here. She's a good girl. Yeah. Oh, if it weren't for the Warriors dynasty, were they really that good? I know Golden State beat them like once in the playoffs, if not twice. A Pelicans fan, boy, that's tough sledding. They made the playoffs last year, right? Blazers have been overshadowed by a lot of teams in their history. Oh yeah, that's fair to say. Whether that was the Lakers, of course, the Warriors, even the Sonics to a degree. Blazers and Sonics both won their titles in the 70s, though. Hey, Eddie! Wow, great to have you here, man. How you been? It's good to see you on here. You know what? Here, let's. How about an honorary treat to Cortana for Eddie's appearance here? 7-6, Columbus wins. Oh, good for them. The Blazers failed to build around Dame. Well, yeah, because they didn't have like Dame and LaMarcus at the same time, right? Or if they did, it wasn't for very long. Yeah, good girl. Look at that. Look at that, Eddie. Cortana's going to be 11 years old in January. She'll be 11. I can't believe it. My little girl. She's a senior citizen as a dog, but she has hardly lost a step, honestly. Is Eddie a Sabres fan? That's a good question. I would think yes, but Eddie's somewhere north of the border. Excuse me. I'm gonna need more whiskey, apparently. Yeah, Eddie is he qualifies as I'd say an OG Twister. Like I'm talking about when the channel didn't even have anywhere near 1,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure. Vegas holds on against Ottawa 3-2. Okay, nice bounce back from yesterday's game against the Maple Leafs. Cassidy gets his 400th victory. Good girl. All right, so we're in a commercial break here. If the Sharks go into intermission down by just one goal, though, I think that they're kind of lucky, honestly, with how St. Louis has kind of capitalized on the momentum they were building later in that period. in the first period. Excuse me. Xander, what's going on? Starting to think your pregame prediction of Sharks win 1 million to 0 might not pan out. Hey, as long as Askarov looks good, that's all I'm concerned about tonight for the most part. Anyone care about Steelers Browns? Steelers going Super Bowl? Let's see here. 10-3 Browns. Only 3 points in the first half for the Steelers. How's Russell doing? He's 11-13. But wow, the Browns have gotten to Russell Wilson 4 times already. And Pittsburgh, not much besides that. Jameis is having a decent game. He hasn't been sacked yet. The lone touchdown coming from Nick Chubb. The Steelers are gonna Super Bowl. Wow. Wierenski, a 5-point game. You're here to that. I mean, you gotta give it up. I mean, Columbus needs to change their uniforms. Really, I would love to see them do something with the cannon because they don't present themselves as a sexy team to watch, and yet here I am. I'm saying like Columbus needs to be good, like especially after the tragic loss of Gaudreau. So congratulations to them, and yeah, I'd like to see somebody like Wierenski or even somebody like Chinikov, be put in the spotlight more from kind of like a media standpoint. Then, I mean, you tree is a big reason why I have this channel in the first place. I think big time U tree fan, probably from like 2018, 2017. The Rams are winning the Super Bowl. Hey, Rams are our team that can play much better than the record at times. The thing though is that they got to win the division to get into the playoffs. At least that's how things look right now. Because Commanders have 7 wins and they're in second place in their division. The Vikings have 8 wins and the Packers have 7 wins. Right, and those are the 3 wildcard teams. Days of our Steelers and the days of earmuffs if you don't like profanity, but the days of Captain Fat. Uh, Doing a show on all the old WHA jerseys. Man, I haven't made a video in forever. But that would be kind of a fun way to get back into making videos. So something on WHA jersey history, that could be really fun. I'm gonna write that down. I like writing things down. Thank you for the suggestion. That's fun. Rams won't go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that would be like that'd almost be like Green Bay in 2010 or something improbable like that, right? Or the New York Giants even. Yeah, in the AFC, you've got, of course, the Chiefs. You got the Bills who just beat them regular season. I know the Steelers. You got the Ravens. Even I am a Jim Harbaugh stan, at least when it comes to NFL coaching. I mean, there are plenty of threats in the AFC. The NFC looks a little bit more linear with the Lions, I think, being the clear favorite. But the Eagles are on a tear right now. Would I say could I see the Rams being the next big threat after that? Maybe. But they have to win the division though. NFC is just Lions and Eagles. Yeah, I mean, like I don't think that you can quite put because the Lions can play pretty well. I mean, their offense is incredible, and even without Aiden Hutchinson, their defense can wreak some havoc out there. It does suck they have Anzalone's going to be out for a while. Blackhawks on upset watch 2-0 over the Panthers. Ooh, helping the Sharks get closer to the number 1 overall pick again. Which, by the way, I don't care for too much. Like that doesn't concern me nearly as much as it did last year. 2-1. All right. Got to help out the Panthers. Our friend Jaws over at Flying Fluffy. He would appreciate this. 0 points for Bedard. I know Bedard's he's been a little quiet this year versus expectations, but hey, we're just 20 or so games through. You got a new pair of skates today. Going into the city tomorrow. Nice. Wow. So what's the nearest city for you in that case? Yeah. Yeah, we have an outdoor rink for a couple of months here through January in downtown Coeur d'Alene. Um, I don't know. I might have to take Mrs. Twister for a skate date. I think she'd like that. Mississauga. Oh, okay. So the GTO. I haven't been paying attention since Chicago drafted him. I mean, in the game I saw the first uh, Hawks Sharks game this year, Bedard looked fantastic. But so far, Connor Bedard for Chicago in 19 games has just 3 goals. Wow. 12 assists, so 15 points in 19 games. Um, yeah, I would have expected more goals for sure, but yeah, he did show off that he has some fantastic playmaking skills to go along with that shot. Did I get married? No, no. I mean, Mrs. Twister is really Ms. Twister, but uh, yeah, when we look at the vision of the Twister Brister franchise, that definitely includes Mrs. Twister. She's a core component of that. Along with her goofy little kitties. Not kids, but cats. Uh, and of course, Cortana being a piece of that as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is very cool for sure. And she doesn't watch any sports, but she she'll do whatever she'll go along with whatever idea I have. So we've been to a couple of hockey games in town here, Spokane Chiefs of the WHL. Actually, yeah, this past Friday we saw the Chiefs play the. Oh, excuse me, I gotta say second intermission. My bad. This past Friday we saw the Chiefs play the Calgary Hitmen. So I got to see two interesting prospects out there. First of all, I got to watch Carson Wetch, who was drafted by the Sharks in the third round. And I also got to see Ottawa Senators top defensive prospect, Carter Yakimchuk. Holy God. That guy was a man among boys out there. Really. Fantastic game. I saw this one play. Was it Yakimchuk or was it Wetch? I can't remember who it was, who like somebody for the Chiefs was going in for the hit versus the puck carrier. And whether that was Yakimchuk or Wetch, it might have been Wetch, just completely ran like just went right into the guy. Uh, and they connected on they sort of connected on a play in which it was a very astute play by Wetch to get it on net, and then Yakimchuk buried the rebound. So um, if you're a Senators fan or curious to see what the Senators can do with their younger talents out there, Carter Yakimchuk, I was really hoping the Sharks would get him. I was hoping he would slide in the first round of last year's draft, but he didn't. Being a right-handed shot, teams are going to pursue that more because that's kind of a rare position to have elite talent. But I mean, Makar aside, of course, Brock Faber's right-handed too, right? But the Sharks still got Dickinson. I mean, I really do like Dickinson quite a bit. But yeah, it's snowing in the Browns game. Yeah, I saw that it was snowing in Chicago too. Uh, whereas like here, well, I mean, I have a bit of a maritime influence. I'm not that far away from the coast, but like I looked at Minneapolis right now. It's like basically the same as it is here, just 2 hours south of the border in Idaho. Time to make her a Sharks and Vikings fan. Oh yeah, when we watch the Vikings, she's got her purple on, so that's all I could ever ask for, honestly. I mean, we only need one insane person in our household in the future, so she's the even keel. Uh, Ehag, best way to do that is actually just like tag me on like Instagram or X, or even just send me an email. I can take a look at that from there. Because yeah, I don't take a look at my YouTube. I never I never get like notifications if somebody tags me in a post on YouTube. Yeah. So is it still 10-3 Browns? Yeah, it is. Steelers have the ball on their 20. By the way, guys, we do like to talk some football on here, especially since my team's actually not horrible. So yeah, the new kickoff rule. What the hell is this? I, dumbest thing I've ever seen, really, with the NFL. Yeah, yeah, I'm on Instagram. Yeah, just Twister Brister Hockey. Let's see here. Have there been any Sasquatch sightings in Idaho? No, not recently. Um, Last year, I this is the only time I've seen a moose, but I did see a moose in the distance. Uh, I knew it was a moose because it was bigger than anything I'd ever seen on land. Um, but we do have some creatures out here, and I don't mean meth heads. We have, even as you get closer to the Canada border, we do have a few grizzlies in this vicinity. Um, yeah, we do have some interesting wildlife, but that's about it. Yeah, I can't remember the last time we heard about a Sasquatch sighting. A really interesting feature on somebody who was traveling, through the wilderness in Oregon, looking for signs of that. And I mean, like people in the comments have literal like personal accounts of them seeing actual Sasquatch. It's really interesting reading that stuff. That's an interesting YouTube rabbit hole. The most recent Bigfoot sighting was in Denver. Actually, in the town of Denver. Wow. Now, the real thing I'm wondering though is Sasquatch actually related to man bear pig? By the way, the goals that we saw earlier today or tonight, Sean Walker, that was the first goal with 11 seconds into the game. That's his third of the year. Cairo only is sixth. I would have expected more from Cairo. He can create offense at a pretty high level. And then Wenberg with his fourth. If I go skating, can I have a video? Oh God, you want to see my skating skills? I haven't skated since I was literally a teenager, but I'll try to remember to do something with that. I mean, not counting rollerblades. He's half man, half bear, and half pig. I'm super cereal. Really, a lot of our conversations here involve discussions around snacks. Here, Corton, I'll just give you an apple right now. Uh, South Park and my the masochism that is being a Vikings fan. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I wish I were a little. I love living where I do right now, but kind of piggybacking off of Micro's comment here. I wish I was a little closer to more NHL arenas. I mean, I am within a day's drive from well, Seattle's not even 5 hours. Then we have Calgary, which is about 7 hours. Vancouver, 7 hours. Edmonton would be like 9.5 or something like that. So those are some pretty long drives, especially during hockey season. But that's about it for me. I've been to one Kraken game, and since I've moved to Idaho, so over the last 4 years, I've just been to one Sharks game because I'm not in California that much. You're playing hockey twice a week. Nice. Are you? So is that like pickup, or is it like beer league? Uh, San Jose, Columbus, and Seattle. I mean, having three teams is pretty good. I mean, after of course the Sharks, I watch Carolina a decent amount, and I was following Florida pretty well too. So I think three teams is pretty good. Another way to do it is to have one team for each division. So, well, you have two in the Pacific. Um, but yeah, like having kind of a favorite team to follow in every division makes it kind of fun. Chicago has a lot of snow. Yeah, yeah, I heard that today. Clay has been to a Kraken game. Yeah, yeah. Friend of the channel, Clay Emo. All right, so we are heading into the third period. We'll see if the Sharks can find a spark offensively, and if Askarov can hold the fort down to hopefully at least get this game into overtime. Yeah, my cousin lives in Seattle, and he's like, "Hey, you should come for the Vikings Seahawks game." And I'm like, "Man, that's tempting. I don't have any money though, so I don't think I'm going to be making the trip next month. Plus, it can be a bit of a pain in the butt driving to Seattle because you have to go through Snoqualmie Pass. Uh, but I could always go the southern route. It would just take longer, but that's all right. Pick up, there are guys in their 70s. Wow, that's awesome, man. Who knows? There could be the next Mark Sertich, who played until I believe the age of 96 before he passed away. Mark Sertich. I would like to. I hope his legend lives on in the hockey community. I believe he lived in Minnesota. Got to get to a Sharks game. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you'll have opportunities to get affordable tickets. I would think. All right. So Wenberg loses this draw to Thomas. Here's Perunovic behind the net. A shot from the point and doesn't quite get through the traffic, and a loose puck that Askarov gets a piece of with his pad. Yeah, he's Minnesota. Okay. A snow game in Cleveland. Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that cool? I mean, I love the Vikings. Vikings are my team. I love US Bank Stadium, but like at the same time, I kind of wish the Vikings had a way to play one game a year outdoors in the cold. A shot from the top of the slot, and that gets blocked off of somebody in front. Actually, Askarov did get a piece. And now we have a loose puck out of play with the first minute 18 gone by. Good Minnesota hockey. Yeah, boy, the Wild. What a wagon so far. And I think Brad Faber is Minnesotan himself, right? Anybody else on that team from Minnesota? I don't think Boldy is. I think Boldy's what? Isn't he from like Massachusetts? He is American though. Yeah, Massachusetts. Love the Sharks jerseys. Yeah, I think that I don't think they're perfect, but I think they're an upgrade over the previous jerseys. I like the numbers a lot. I think the numbers look great, especially on the white jersey. They did a nice job with those. Kaprizov's incredible. Oh, and a big save by Askarov off of Brandon Saad as he secured that with his glove. Let's take a look at that. Okay. Yeah, Askarov almost cheated too much, but he was able to find a way to get that in the trapper. So Askarov, save percentage is currently over 900. That's good. We don't want him turning into the next Martin Jones in the eyes of the hockey guy. Seems like every review he did with the Sharks, he was like, and Jones, his save percentage, he's getting a little closer to 900. But I mean, he was pulling for Jones too. Oh, Martin Jones. I mean, I admired Martin Jones even when he was bad, because when he was interviewed by the media, he faced a lot of criticism, but he faced it head on. Now the Sharks, here we go. Oh, Toffoli, don't really like that pass too much, and really that means we can't really get set up in the zone. But the turnover, Celebrini drop pass, Wallman a shot, and just wide, big booming clapper there. Heard what happened with Matthews? An upper body injury that had to be treated in Germany. Well, I know that Matthews had worked with the doctor in Germany when he used to play in Switzerland, so that's why he's there. That's what I think. Yeah, Tommy Boy. I think that league average now is maybe 905. All right, Delandria will get this deep. Okay, the Sharks maybe a little momentum here. Blues able to skate this out. All right, Wallman going to feed this up, looking for Giovanni Smith. He gets hit there in the neutral. Gets it deep at least. Sharks will change up. Oh, no, kept it at the top of the zone. Or now they can have the change. I hope he didn't wreck his back. Yeah, I mean, having Matthews and Ovechkin out, that really blows. All right, Mario Ferraro initiating the clear here. Costin. Oh, Costin's still out there. The Wenberg line coming out now. All right, first 4 minutes gone by now. Granlund around the net. And now Eklund. Hounded by Shen, a one-timer, and blocked in front. And Thompson. Nice retrieval by Eklund. Granlund trying to put the team on his back. And a chance out in front. And that shot didn't quite. Maybe Bennington got a piece of that. Jack Thompson able to help the Sharks hold the zone for a moment. And a loose puck that's going to come all the way down toward Askarov. Oh, no, it's going to be an icing. As the Sharks getting a little more momentum. Probably the most I've seen from them since midway in the first period, really. McCaffrey had to go to Germany for an injury, too. Interesting. Yeah, Sharks do look a little bit more alive here. What's with athletes going to Germany for injuries? I don't know. The Germans are very efficient at things, maybe. I'm not sure. All right. Stod, nice job to get good body positioning and get the clear. Now Wallman with speed into the zone. And nothing doing there as the Blues can easily knock that away from him. And send the puck around to where Askarov will play it from behind his net. He's able to effectively get it around the Blues attacker or forechecker. We got a puck out of play, though, with 14:40 left in regulation. So wait, we got any 49ers fans here? From a Vikings fan, business as usual, right? You got the Green Bay Packers coming up. You know what to do, right? Just run it down their throat. That guy, I haven't noticed Zetterlund as much in the last few games. I haven't been watching as closely, but still, he has been kind of quiet after what I thought was a really nice, strong start to the season for him. Boo Rams. Ah, I hate that the Rams don't play in St. Louis anymore. I know they're originally a Los Angeles team, but nice keeping by Costin, but nobody's there. Yeah. Horrible turnover from behind the net. Was that Thompson? Boy, that was bad. Or was that Ruda? Yeah, I think it was Ruda. All right, is it still 10-3? No, it's 10-6. Steelers driving again. Jeez, the Browns only have 2 wins. Wow. Wow, the Blues have lost their last 4 home games, so this could be a very needed bounce back for them. You were born when the Rams were still there. Yeah. I mean, hey, when I was a kid watching football, right? The greatest show on turf. Not to mention those uniforms in the late '90s. Those are the ones that they need to go back to. I can't stand the LA Rams uniforms. Ugh, I think they're awful. I mean, how hard is it to screw up a uniform that's blue and yellow? All right. Although I want to see the Blues go with a more simple look, kind of like what they had in the original Blues. I love that look. Oh, Askarov. Oh, nice knockaway by Wallman. I also like the Blues in the Brett Hull era. I like that look a lot from the later '80s into the '90s. He scored 2 goals, but they got challenged. Oh, is that right? Okay. And I know often that's if anything, that's almost never the goal scorer's fault, right? Unless you're interfering with the goaltender. You've heard about the greatest show on turf. Yeah, yeah. I mean, holy God. That offense alone, Orlando Pace on the line, Marshall Falk, Isaac Bruce, I think Torrey Holt might be one of the most underrated receivers ever. I really do think that he doesn't get his flowers enough. And of course, one of the greatest stories ever in American pro sports, Kurt Warner. All right, man. Hey, Eddie, it's nice save by Askarov there. Good seeing you here, Eddie. Hope to see you around for another stream. You have a great night, and good luck getting your skates tailored, I guess. Cheers. Sharks give it away again. Worked out to the point. Joseph, and now off a skate. Celebrini, and he tries to split two defenders. I don't like that so much, but the Sharks do change up. You're a good girl, Cortana. You're doing good. Gaudreau able to knock that away from Thomas. Actually, good support there from Toffoli. See if the top line can get something going. Here's Toffoli into the St. Louis zone. Trying to dangle around Pareko. I'll shove this over to Selly. Oh, splits a couple defenders. A little dipsy doodle. Over to Wallman. A shot and a blocker save by Bennington. Nice play from Macklin. Probably the most I've noticed him offensively tonight. But here he is on the retrieval and gives it away to Thomas, but a lucky bounce for the Sharks. Cece in front and a nice diving block from Pareko. Yeah, absolutely, Jake. All right, 10:30 remaining here in regulation. But the Sharks, a better response in this period versus the second, as they kind of empty the tank after playing last night in what was, for the most part, a close game in Dallas. Uh, by points percentage heading into tonight, the top three teams in the Central had the best record in the Western Conference. Bennington's going to cover this up, and now some pushing and shoving with Costin and Cunnin in front of the St. Louis crease. Oh, wait. I had some chicken in the slow cooker. I got to. All right, be right back, guys. I got to check on the chicken in the slow cooker. I'm cooking that with no seasoning, so then that way I can give some to Cortana. Ooh, I can get myself some more whiskey too. All right. I need just like a minute and a half. Sweet girl. All right. And we're back. And with more whiskey. Yeah, the good old vocal lubricant in a sense. All right. Eh, Boy, oh boy, guys. Hope the Sharks can get a fire lit under their butts. There hasn't been a power play for either team since, I don't know, midway through the first period. And is this a blank jersey? Yeah, it is a blank. So I have the in Adidas. I have the away jersey, and I have the home jersey. I don't actually have a Cali fin, but I'll probably order one by the end of this year, um, in Adidas. But I don't have any numbers on them. I'd like to get those eventually, but I just don't really have the funds for that specifically. All right, green peppers and other colors are good for older dogs. Green peppers? Really? I did not know that. All right. Eklund dumped in behind the net. My fire. Wait, are you ahead in the broadcast? Did something good happen, or something good for you guys? Oh, there. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. All right. Here comes Wallman. He'll shovel this for Goodrow behind the net. Here we go. Sharks going to work down low. Celebrini. He shoots and saved by Bennington. Oh, nice look to dish it out in front. Nice pickup though from the blue line. Eklund. Chance in front. Toffoli couldn't quite get positioning on that. Helps with the eyesight. Oh, interesting. Now Falk coming the other way. A shot and wide of Askarov's glove. Skating transition now. Celebrini hands it off. Toffoli. A shot and somebody got a piece of that before it reached the net. Ferraro, can he keep it in the zone? Knocked away by the Blues. Oh, chance. Oh, nice back check from Wenberg. This game's starting to open up. Costin into the corner, getting behind the net. Costin looking for somebody out in front. Back out to Ferraro. Ruda. And a nice save by Bennington through the traffic. He'll cover up, but nice job by the Sharks responding. As we go to a commercial break with 7:48 left. Celebrini will be a tank. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, think about this. Once he gets like the Sharks, we're talking about like a Casper Halton, Quentin Musty, right? Once we see one of those wingers emerge as a first line option for him, right? Somebody who can really play at that pace. Toffoli's been good, don't get me wrong, but he's a stopgap at that role. Then yeah, Celebrini, he'll go off for sure. All right. So, 63% of our votes favored San Jose in this game. Yeah, I'd hate to see Askarov get the loss. He overall he's played the net well. A little shaky, but not terribly. He looks like he belongs there. By the way, still 10-6 between the Steelers and Browns. Cortana, not right now, honey. Okay, you gotta wait till the end of our stream here, which will probably be in about 20 minutes. But I'll give you a treat, Cortana. You are persistent. What a good girl. So the Sharks' next four opponents: the Sabres, Kings, Senators, and Kraken, all at home. Okay, that's not overwhelmingly difficult. Did you watch the Seattle or the Steelers Browns game? Well, I don't have it available on my computer here. Like I don't have a subscription to Prime. I do have my Xbox downstairs, but that's it. A Browns scored a touchdown. Wow. All right, Wallman, a stretch pass in the neutral zone. The Sharks will get it down behind the net. There's Torpchenko. I just want to call him Torpedochenko. James Winston. Oh God, crab legs enjoyer. That's a bit of a throwback, right? All right, Wallman with time. They're being outshot 28-16. I mean, like if they lose this game, you cannot pin this on Askarov, even despite that blunder to open the game. You like the Blues retro or Winter Classic jersey? I don't love it, but I like that it's a bit of a departure from just their typical looks over the years. And again, like Chicago's the home team, so like my focus is more on just naturally you focus on the team wearing the darker color. St. Louis did a decent job. I think that'll be a good uniform matchup. Red versus blue essentially. 2-point try, good by David Njoku. 18-6, or is it now 26? No, 18-6. Yeah. All right. Ooh, they were playing Ride the Lightning. Wait, they're stealing our thunder. Njoku. Hmm. All right, here's Eklund in the Blues corner. We get behind the net, trying to get around another defender. Thomas scooping up the loose change. Good pressure. Here's Zetterlund making a bit of an impact. Oh, nice feed from Granlund to Zetterlund. And a diving poke check from Binnington, jamming at the rebound. The puck was still loose. A little bit of an early whistle, it looks like. Oh, now a cross check from Eklund after the whistle. But some feistiness here from the Lund line. Granlund, Zetterlund, and Eklund. Of course, Granlund being a native of Finland, not Sweden. When you go to Finland, you'll see that all the signs are also in Swedish. It is an official language of the country. So you want to always see things in English, but everybody does speak English when you are in the cities, of course. Had a good time over there. Got to attend a metal show and do a little hiking. Oh, and a shot, and Binnington the save. Held on by Zetterlund. He looking to cycle it. Oh, it's Jack Thompson, excuse me. And now the Blues work it out. Here they come the other way. On the wing, a shot. Askarov gets a piece of it with his glove. Kept in by Neighbors. Yeah, how is Jake Neighbors doing so far this year? Because the dude was kind of a goal-scoring machine for his first full year. Neighbors played around. Goodrow able to scoop it up. Here comes Celebrini. He shoots. Oh, I thought that was off the post. But Celebrini, deceptive. Oh, homeboy wants a goal. But we'll go to a commercial break with 5:19 remaining in regulation. Jake Neighbors, 6 goals in 20 games, a total of 9 points. -10. Oof. That's not good. Even though I know plus minus doesn't is only it's a deceptive statistic. Had a nice snap on that one. I know, right? Like his decision, like some of his decision making in the offensive zone is Boy, it throws you for a loop. Like I enjoy it, man. Like creating that space off the rush like that to just hold up, wait for the defender to, come back, cut back a little bit more, and then rip the shot, right? Samantha, good evening. How you doing? How you doing? Avalanche slowly weathering the storm, slowly getting back into the playoff picture. Let's take a look at the other scores out there in the NHL. I didn't really do that at second intermission. Although we're going to get back to the action. Chicago leads Florida 2-1. Calgary 2-0 halfway through their game with the Rangers. Minnesota, after a bizarre Leon Draisaitl goal in the first minute, now lead 3-2. Boston 1-0 over Utah. That is final. Vegas beating Ottawa. The Red Wings beating the Islanders 2-1. Carolina falling to the Devils 4-2. Colorado coming back to beat Washington. That's a big one. And of course, that shootout that we were talking about earlier, 7-6, the Blue Jackets over the Lightning. Riley, good evening to you. Golden Knights got a win today. That's a good bounce back after getting shut out by the Maple Leafs. All right, so under 5 to play here. So Askarov, as it stands right now, 28 saves on 30 shots. Could you ask for more for a guy making his Sharks debut and someone who only played 3 games in the NHL coming into this year? Uh, and are you still playing goalie then, Riley? All right, Granlund finding the point. Liljegren, a backhand that Pareko intercepts from behind the net. Kept in by the Sharks though. Zetterlund backhands it around for looking for Eklund. And a shot toward the net, a bobbling puck. That was interesting for a hot second. All right on, man. Right on. Figure another year or two and the Sharks play. Ooh. I mean, that guy, if that was the case, I would be very impressed. But again, I think that things are trending in a positive direction. I mean, by the 26-7 season, that's when maybe 28's looking, because you got to give guys like Musty and Haltonen and Dickinson a couple years in the NHL before they, I think are adjusted and consistently contributing. But you never know. I mean, the Blackhawks in the late aughts, like overnight, they became a really good team. Modern rebuilds that take like 5 to 8 years. I mean, like look at teams like the Canadiens. They're still a ways away, right? Even though they have the promising young talent. Buffalo, well, Buffalo's just Buffalo, unfortunately. The Red Wings, even though they did sign some free agents, they have some really good young players in the minors, but like they haven't had as much of a breakthrough from the Marco Caspers out there, right? Not yet. It could very well come. Even the Senators, they have some great players right now, but it's like, do you have a playoff team just yet? I was hoping for more from Ottawa. 2032. Okay, yeah. I mean, like that's not a bizarre possibility. I don't think because by then Macklin Celebrini only 26 years old or something like that. You didn't know the Canadiens were rebuilding? Yeah, they really have been since they made that Stanley Cup final back in 21. .235 to play, and the Sharks have emptied the net. So Yaroslav Askarov, despite that, I know I sound like a broken record to the people who've been hanging out with us for the last 2.5 hours. Oh no, here's a chance. Buchnevich, loose puck, and a nice diving play by Celebrini to break that up. That was looking like a sure empty net goal for the Blues. But Askarov has done his job. Let's see if the Sharks can threaten at least, even if they don't score. Blues getting the clear here, and now Buchnevich handing it off. Neighbors floating one down into the Sharks' end. No icing. Under 2 to play now. That's right, Jake. It was the Lightning. Here's Wenberg on the wing. And we get a puck out of play. But yeah, there have only been 3 penalties in this game, and they were all in the third period. You get to play the whole game as a goalie. Yeah, that's true. That is pretty great. And if your team can stay in the offensive zone, then you get plenty of time to recover. Put in Askarov as a wingman. I mean, I'm sure he could do more than Luke Cunningham out there. Will they expand the playoff format to include more teams? Oh man, I personally don't hope for that. I mean, I know the players recently were in favor of the NHL expanding to 34 teams. I just love how even things are. 4 divisions, 8 teams per division. Half the teams go to the playoffs. It's like, please, can we do that? I would love to see. I know this is not the best answer to your question, but I would love to see the NHL go back to the hard 1 versus 8 format. Could you reseed after that? I wouldn't mind that. I don't know. You hate the empty net 2/10. Celebrini made a great play. Otherwise, that's a sure goal for St. Louis. Not a good pass from Granlund there, but it's on the stick of Eklund nonetheless. Here's Macklin. Down low for Eklund. So we get to a minute 30 at the point. Shot. Toffoli, chance. Oh, Wenberg almost able to tip that home. Blues looking for the empty netter. Sent down and just wide, and that will go for icing with $1:23 remaining. The Stellas are coming back. It's 18 to they got time. They still have 2 timeouts as well. It's 18-13 Cleveland. Maybe the Sharks need you in net. The Sharks need you to stand in front of the other team's net. That's what they need. Granlund and a pass broken up. Trying to strip it. The Sharks keep it in the zone. Nice, whoever did that. Macklin in front. Traffic in front. And let's see if Eklund can hunt this puck down. Kept in. And a bobbling puck is cleared. Final minute as Binnington has this rattle around or behind the net. Held in the zone by the Sharks. Looking for the point. Can they save it? Yes, they can. At least for the moment. Celebrini. At the dot. A shot, and Binnington's going to save this with 45 left. Macklin Celebrini in this period has been all over it. All over it. Do I want overtime? Of course. It's not like the Sharks are going to score 2 goals in the last 45 seconds. If they do, though, then I'm giving you a Twisted Wrister t-shirt. You hope the Sharks make it to the playoffs again. We're going to have to wait a while, Riley, but yeah, it'll be exciting when that moment comes. I just hope I'm still on YouTube making content. Because, I mean, in the early days of Twisted Wrister hockey, the Sharks are still pretty good, but for most of the channel's existence, they've been pretty bad. You know, Cortana, come on. You want overtime? Yeah? Maybe this time we could get revenge on you guys, but we got to tie this up. 45 to go. Blues won the draw. Sharks trying to seal off the puck from the boards. Nice play from Eklund. I like the effort from 71-72. Parayko. Celebrini strips it. Behind the net. Onto the stick of Wenberg. Come on, Macklin. This kid's going to do it, isn't he? Macklin sends it to the net. Paddled aside by Binnington. And a nice little back pass there from Macklin. Kept it at the point. Granlund. To the dot where Eklund is. Looking in front. Eklund shoots. He scores! Oh, it's Wenberg, his second of the game. We're tied, baby. But, dude, I mean, great effort from all the Sharks out there. But Macklin Celebrini, holy shit. What a great period from him. This is the best I've seen from him, honestly. Wow. Sorry for if I ruptured any eardrums, I apologize, but damn. What tenacity from this team. What tenacity. There you go, Cortana. There's a good girl. All right. Smash that like for Cortana if you haven't already, everybody. And I am probably going to get a noise complaint tonight. All right, let me correct the scoreboard now. Yeah, the Sharks are pretty good at scoring these late goals now. You can root for San Jose since Arizona moved. And oh, by the way, that was in with like 10 seconds left. Holy, I didn't know that. We're gonna go to overtime. Wow, I didn't know it was that clutch of a goal. Holy God. 8 seconds left on the clock. I mean, Askarov is in his first game. I gotta refill Cortana's water. Like, give me 25 seconds. Bro, I just lost money for. Oh, I'm sorry about that, dude. I mean, you weren't at fault for betting on the Blues. This is the Sharks debut for our young goaltender Askarov, right? All right, hold on, bro. We gotta get through overtime. All right. God, please don't go to exactly the Blues. Hey, Blues, if you're going to win this game, do it in overtime, please. I do not want to see a shootout either. But dude, something tells me that Sally's going to win this in overtime again. I know he did on Monday. We're the hungry hippo sharks. What did you want from for Halloween that year? Hungry hippos. If you can name that movie, you and I are cut from the same cloth. Granlund has been awesome. Yeah. Oh, even last year too, except for like the first like 7 or 8 games. Unbelievable. Oh, Jake. Yeah, you followed me on Instagram. Cool. All right, so let's see what happens. Yeah, I know Tommy Boy. I haven't heard any like specific plans for the NHL to discuss that, but really, it does need to be addressed. All right, here we go. Here comes Kyrou. And now he's going to hold up. He didn't take it into the Sharks zone, though, so I'll credit him for that. Here he drives in. Kyrou behind the net. And he'll take it out to the point, and now they take it out of the zone. See, that's 30 seconds killed off already. Now Celebrini trying to strip this free. Good support from Granlund, but Kyrou's got it. He's got Breakout in front. He shoots, and just wide of the net. Scooped up, and now Macklin Celebrini will hand. Oh, dangerous back pass. A little ill-advised there, but here he comes. Macklin to the slot. He shoots, and off of back checker. Or no, but he did get a piece. San Jose can still hang on to the puck here with Ceci. Like if you leave the zone, face off in your zone. Oh, I think that if you have the puck in the offensive zone and you take it out in overtime, I think the other team should be able to bring in another skater onto the ice until the whistle. So then that way it can still flow, right? Eklund, high slot, Wenberg. He's got the 2 goals for the Sharks. Taking it down around the net on the backhand. Alex Wenberg. Over to Ceci. He's trying to get around Buchnevich. In support is Eklund. He'll hand it back off to Ceci. At the dot, he's got Wenberg. Wenberg. Top of the zone, he'll take it out. See, I got him. There should be consequences for this sort of thing. And now here's Liljegren. Handing it off for Eklund. The one-timer, not a very good pass. But Toffoli's there. Handing it off to Timmy. Oh, God, he almost coughed it up there and stripped by Buchnevich. And Pavel will look deep for a teammate, but Liljegren was there first. So the Sharks hanging on to it with 2:40 remaining. Steelers again, huh? All right. So Toffoli buying time as new teammates come over the board. It's Macklin again. He's got Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli hands it off to Granlund. It's 3 forwards for San Jose. Macklin at the dot. Wanted Toffoli. Now a breakaway for Pavel Buchnevich, but on the back check, here comes Granlund. He was at the end of his shift, Buchnevich, to his credit. A chance in front. Celebrini, that pass just skipped over his stick. He's got it again, though, off the turnover. He shoots. It's the crossbar. Now here comes it. Shen the other way. Braden Shen. And a diving stop from Tyler Toffoli on the back check. A cross-ice pass that gets broken up. And that puck comes out of the zone. Celebrini. So close. Kaprizov injured. That's awful. Now here's Kyrou with speed and a nice poke check from Granlund again. Gotta love 3-on-3. Like when they don't take it out of the zone, I love it. All right, Sharks able to regain possession here behind their own net with 1:20 left. Can we please either team? I'd love to see it. Eklund's now out there for the Sharks. Wallman finally will skate it out. Oh, no, he'll just do a little back pass. And now it's Alex Wenberg handing it off to the point. Eklund trying to spin away from the defender and hand it off. Wallman, here he comes. Jake Wallman at the dot. He shoots and a save off the blocker of Binnington. Off the rebound, Wenberg, as we're now down to 50 seconds. Hand off to Eklund. Back to Wallman. Or Wenberg, excuse me. They all look the same out there. Wallman's going to take it out of the zone, though, as booing down from the Enterprise Center crowd. With speed, Eklund trying to get around Thomas. Hands it off. Cunning's there. Cunning, what's he doing out there? Zetterlund now. Thought about the shot, taking it around the net. 20 seconds left. Fabian Zetterlund. Over to Cunnin, and he gets stripped here as Parayko, with the final 10 seconds, he'll actually just kind of hold up here. We'll see if he can rush up the ice and get a shot off in time. The booming shot, and Askarov able to turn that aside. And we are going to a shootout, unfortunately. So in his NHL debut, or his Sharks debut, I should say, Yaroslav Askarov will face 3 St. Louis shooters at, 2 at minimum, in the shootout. Man, that's awful news for the Wild, by the way. Oh, man. God, Celebrini almost won this game. It was inevitable, but maybe in the shootout he can do something here. Yeah, really, Tommy boy. He 29 saves on 29 saves on 31 shots for Askarov. All right, so we'll await the selection of shooters. What a wild night for sports! Yeah, if the Steelers are going to hold on, that'd be crazy. Albeit they failed on the 2-point conversion, right? All right. All right, Braden Shen is going to be the first shooter. Couldn't have asked for a better debut. For 59 minutes and 49 seconds, I agree. All right, it's Shen, and he'll take this from center ice. In against Askarov, Braden Shen coming in with speed and denied on the backhand. Askarov, nice sprawling save there. Who is coming out for San Jose? It's going to be Mikhail Granlund, who, boy, oh boy, he had some huge plays in overtime to prevent breakaways and a 2-on-1. And here he comes, Mikhail Granlund, a little more methodical than Shen. He skates in. Mikhail Granlund looking. He shoots and a pad save by Askarov. Not fooled by that maneuver. All right. Next up is Jordan Kyrou, the speedy, dangerous weapon. Let's see if he comes in with speed. And he does. Jordan Kyrou. Oh, and then he pulls up. He is denied by the pad of Askarov. All right. So that means if the Sharks can somehow score this next attempt and Askarov can come up with a save. And who better to trot out there than the 18-year-old Macklin Celebrini? Macklin. Here he comes, Macklin. He's denied by the pad of Binnington, or maybe that was the blocker there. Nice adjustment by Binnington. Good hands by the kid. But yeah, the blocker Binnington, as his pads came down, was right there above the pad to make the save. And now St. Louis will send out Jake Neighbors. And here he comes. And alone, he scores! Getting around the glove of Askarov. So now the Sharks must score to extend this shootout. What a great snap there from number 63. And for the Sharks, it will be William Eklund trying to give Askarov another chance. Eklund takes the puck. With time. Well, of course. He shoots and Binnington turns it aside. The Blues come up with the 2-1 win. And I'd say that the better team did actually win this game. And spoils Askarov's otherwise pretty impressive performance. He saved 29 shots on 31 attempts. That's not bad at all. That's what, a 93 save percentage or better than that? 935. Basically what he's doing at the AHL level. But congratulations to the Blues. They rebound after dropping their last two games. And for the Sharks, another close game on the road here. And a good finish to their game for the most part, given, dropping the game in Dallas last night. So good game, John. Yeah, good game. And, well, disappointing, but at the same time, the Sharks able to keep things close and, hopefully a promising sign for things to come with Yaroslav Askarov, Yevgeny Nabokov 2.0. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. Let's give Cortana a treat because technically that is the winning goal for this contest here. Make sure if you're going to peace out, please do hit the thumbs up before you go. That does help the channel out. Kaprizov's back out there. Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic news. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back again. I don't know what the situation will be next week because it's American Thanksgiving, but maybe we can do something around that. So anyway, look for the next scheduled stream for Twister Wrister Hockey. Thanks so much for your support, guys. I hope to talk to you again real soon. Go Sharks, and good game tonight.